Welcome to TeleStory. To read Codebusters, press the blue square. To read Whispering Voices, press the yellow star. To have the story read to you, press the blue square. To read the words yourself, press the yellow star. Press the colored buttons anytime during the story to see the animations play. To turn the page, press the green arrow buttons. The Power Rangers were training on their Mystic Racer hoverbikes, zipping and darting through the forest. As they flew through the treetops, they did not notice the danger below, as a terrible rumble came from beneath the ground, and something large burrowed through the forest floor. The Power Rangers returned to Udana's secret lair, standing high above the rest of the forest. They thought they were going to spend the next few hours studying quietly, but little did they know that the day was going to hold far greater adventures for them than that. Deep in their underground lair, Korag, Mordecon, and Necroli also heard the terrifying rumble.
"What under earth was that?"
asked Mordecon.
"It must be the Hydra Worm, the creature that dug this pit,"
replied Korag.
"We will use the Mukor monster to make sure that the Power Rangers don't stop the Hydra Worm from destroying the city," said Necroli.
The Yellow Ranger and the Pink Ranger were collecting magical herbs and berries, so Udana found herself in front of her crystal ball with the remaining Rangers.
"Look, Rangers," she cried. "Necroli is in the city, wreaking havoc."
"Come on, Rangers, let's stop her," said the Red Ranger as they mounted their Mystic Racers. The three Power Rangers tracked Necroli down and confronted her.
"I am Necroli, Dark Mistress of the Underworld. Pleased to meet you at last," said the witch.
"You won't be so pleased by the time we've finished with you," replied the Green Ranger. Necroli unfurled her bat-like wings and swooped in to attack. The Power Rangers dodged her and hit back with some of their deadliest moves. Despite the Power Rangers' best efforts, though, Necroli proved to be a strong and cunning foe. Necroli delivered a clever blast that flattened the brave trio.
"Playtime's over," screamed the witch. "A friend of mine is coming for dinner, and guess what's on the menu? You are."
With that, she scooped up the three stricken Power Rangers and flew off towards the forest. Korag and Mordecon waited impatiently, desperate to play their part in Necroli's wicked plan. On a signal from Mordecon, Korag uttered an evil spell.
Usra, Norqua, Uzaro.
With that, Mukor was sent to the surface. Uttering a terrible roar and flailing his arms wildly, Mukor found himself above ground. He saw Necroli fly towards him with 3 struggling creatures in her grip. "Hungry!" roared the monster to his mistress. "Patience, Mukor. Dinner is on the way," replied the witch, dropping the 3 Power Rangers into the monster's open mouth. The Yellow Ranger and the Pink Ranger learned what had happened to their 3 friends. "There's no time to waste," said the Pink Ranger. "We must go now and save our friends." "Be careful," cried Udonna. "There are only 2 of you, and you have hardly mastered your Ranger powers." The 2 Power Rangers had a plan. The Green Ranger zapped Mukor with lightning, while the Pink Ranger transformed into Butterfly Zord form and cast a sneezing spell. The plan worked. Mukor sneezed, and the 3 captured Power Rangers were expelled from the monster's mouth. The Power Rangers turned to face their enemy, knowing that, together, they could defeat Mukor. Just as they were about to attack, though, the ground began to rumble, and the giant beast fled in terror. "What could have caused this?" cried the Red Ranger. Then, his question was answered, as the Hydra Worm burst from the ground and reared its ugly heads. The Power Rangers knew that their human forms would not be strong enough to tackle this nightmarish enemy. This was a job for Zords. Working quickly, they activated their morphers and began to assume their giant Zord forms. When all 5 Power Rangers had transformed, the Red Ranger turned to his friends and shouted, "Mystic Titans, Dragon Formation!" On this command, the Power Rangers formed the giant Dragon Megazord. The Red Ranger leapt aboard, and they set off to do battle. The Hydra Worm fired deadly laser bolts at the Dragon Megazord, but the Power Rangers dodged the blasts and hit the creature with a mighty blast of fire. The creature responded with more laser blasts, but the Dragon Megazord avoided every one. The Dragon Megazord hit the many-headed creature with a well-aimed flame ball, and in a surge of sparks, the monster was destroyed. "We did it! We defeated Mukor and the Hydra Worm!" cried the Power Rangers, safely back at Udonna's lair. "You have done very well," replied the sorceress. "Real heroes are born in the face of real danger, and today you faced real danger and defeated it." The Rangers had not only defeated 2 enemies, but they had also learned a valuable lesson. Alone, they were strong, but together, they were invincible. The end. To read Codebusters, press the blue square. To read Whispering Voices, press the yellow star. To have the story read to you, press the blue square. To read the words yourself, press the yellow star. Press the colored buttons anytime during the story to see the animations play. To turn the page, press the green arrow buttons. Korag walked through the eerie forest. Suddenly, the Red Ranger sprang from the shadows and, flashing his sword, knocked Korag from his feet. The 2 enemies fought, but Korag was soon overpowered, and the Red Ranger prepared to deliver his final strike. Real as it had seemed, this battle was only the reflection of a possible future, which Korag watched in a magical pool of water. Korag was approached by Necroli.
Watching the Red Ranger destroy you?
She asked.
I should tear your wings off and feed you to the Hidiacs, you hag!
Roared Korag.
But then you'd miss my brilliant idea,
replied Necroli, taking Udana's snow staff from the wall.
We can use this to get into the Red Ranger's thoughts,
she explained. Korag began to laugh menacingly. Now he could gain an advantage over the Red Ranger. The Power Rangers were laughing and joking in Udana's lair, but the Red Ranger stood apart, not joining in with the rest. This was because the Red Ranger was hearing a terrible voice in his head.
You are not wanted,
the voice said.
Leave before it's too late.
The Red Ranger slipped away to the forest to find some peace, but the voice wouldn't stop.
The other Power Rangers don't trust you,
the voice said. Who are you? What do you want? Shouted the Red Ranger.
Meet me at the beach and find out,
replied the voice. Tired of being locked in the underworld, Mordecon fought with Korag.
Get me out of this pit,
he cried.
I know you have a plan to defeat the Power Rangers. You can't leave me down here. I'm a warrior. I can't do it,
replied Korag.
I don't have enough power. Yet.
The Red Ranger went to the beach. When he got there, he found himself facing Korag.
I spoke the truth. No one wants you,
roared Korag. firing a blast that knocked the Red Ranger to the ground.
Except me. I want you so I can destroy you.
"Let's do it!" shouted the Red Ranger, leaping to his feet. The Red Ranger fought furiously, but Korag was too strong for him.
Your defeat will be swift. Then your friends will suffer the same fate,
yelled Korag. "I'm not as weak as you think, pal," replied the Red Ranger, fighting back. At Udana's lair, the other Power Rangers watched the fight unfold in the crystal ball. "Why is the Red Ranger fighting alone?" asked the Pink Ranger. "We must help him." The Power Rangers rushed off to help their friend. The Red Ranger continued to battle fiercely, but Korag was overpowering him.
You will be defeated today. That I promise you,
shouted the demon, moving in to strike the final blow. It seemed that the battle was almost lost. Just then, though, the Red Ranger's friends arrived and took up defensive positions to protect him. The Green Ranger struck the ground with his axe, releasing a green bolt to drive Korag back. "Don't worry," shouted the Pink Ranger. "We're here to help you now." The Power Rangers unleashed their attacks. The Yellow Ranger used lightning. The Green Ranger employed his axe. And the Red Ranger shot a powerful fireball at his enemy.
Even together you still won't be strong enough to defeat me,
shouted Korag.
Especially when I assume the power of Centaurus Wolfzord.
With that, the demon assumed his giant and most powerful form. "It looks like it's time to Zord this out," shouted the Green Ranger. With that, the Rangers began to transform into their own giant Zord forms. When the Power Rangers had transformed, the Red Ranger stood to one side and shouted, "Mystic Titans, Dragon Formation!" The other Power Rangers combined to form the Dragon Megazord. The Red Ranger leapt aboard, and they turned to face their enemy. "I hope you are ready to meet your fate," shouted the Red Ranger, shooting a fireball which just missed Korag. The two Megazords then leapt into the air and began to fight. After a long battle, when it looked as though neither Megazord would win, Korag unleashed a powerful spell and stole the Power Rangers' energy orb. With the Power Rangers confused, Korag broke off and returned to his underground lair.
I shall keep this for myself for the time being,
he said, hiding the Power Rangers' energy orb in his chest. But as Korag was hiding the orb, Necroli flew past.
Interesting,
thought the witch. The Power Rangers returned to Udana's lair to celebrate the Red Ranger's safe return. This time, the Red Ranger joined in with the celebrations. Not only had he silenced the voice, but he also knew that it had been wrong. He was part of the team, and next time, that team would defeat Korag. The end. To read Codebusters, press the blue square. To read Whispering Voices, press the yellow star.